Fantastic Spider-Man and Hulk.
All right, this is going to be shorter and sweeter, which is okay after last week's doozy of an episode. There was just so many toys to talk about. But there's still toys to talk about. That's what we're going to do. Because I'm Robo. This here's the rewind. Let's travel back to more hectic times, the age of WonderCon. Mondo posted their panel from the con, and I went through and picked out the concept art for their upcoming 1/12 scale Masters of the Universe line. Remember way back when we talked about the prototype for He-Man in all its 2000X glory, and then how they pipelined Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, and Clawful? Well, now we have, well, okay, if you were at the show, you saw this, but now those of us who weren't there have a general idea of what could happen. These images are to give us a rough idea of what to expect, both in look and presentation. The looks, pretty much what we expected. If you watch that cartoon, it has its style, and I keep trying to say, these figures convey that, but it's concept art. Again, it could change, but I have a feeling that they're gonna get pretty dang close to the feel of the animation. Just in 1/12 scale, super articulated form. Ooh, my favorite. Man, looking at these with the alternate heads, the variant weapons, the bases, this could be sweet. But that also plays into the price that I kind of guessed at last week. There I said, well, okay, they had said that it's comparable to Mezco and Storm Collectibles. But then before that, I seem to remember hearing that it's going to be cheaper than their real Ghostbusters at $101. So my guess was $79.99. But if this is going to be possible, then maybe it will be $89.99, which isn't too much cheaper than real Ghostbusters, but even $100 is cheaper than $101 for the Ghostbusters. But I don't know. This seems like a lot of stuff. Plus, with toy prices doing what they're currently doing, who knows? So I'm just going to enjoy the tidbits of information as they come along and then make any final decisions when they actually go for pre-order, because that's all we can do at this point. For something brand spanking new this week, Boss Fight Studio debuted their Epic Hacks Legendary Red Sonja Steampunk Edition. And yes, I looked at the spelling of legendary in the title and their blurbs and thought, man, somebody missed that, need a proofread. Before saying that on camera, I should probably Google it. And click, 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 click. I looked, and Legendary is the title of the Dynamite Red Sonja comics. At least the ones where she looks like this. I apologize, Boss Fight. There for a minute, I was all judgy. But you know me better than that. I had to go look it up. I have the classic Red Sonja in the wings, in the stack of things to review, and I've been excited about cracking that open. But as much as I love the classic look, learning about this, I've never seen her in pirate-esque gear, and I think the browns and the greens work really well with the reds and the fair skin tone. It's just a cool look. I don't know if this is recent or old. It's just something I haven't seen before. Oh, that's new. That's new. It's new. It's one of those mini, I didn't even know it existed, but now I kind of want it in action figure form. Let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. If you pre-order directly from Boss Fight, you get a bonus axe and top cover. The figure itself includes 2 of those already, but there's jewelry attached to one and then the jacket's on the other. So this is for a plainer crossover look, kind of maybe in between the classic Red Sonja and Legendary. I don't know, because there's already steampunk accessories and some weapons and an alternate head with the goggles down. Very, very, very tempting. Not a whole lot of McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse news this week, which makes sense after the sheer amount of reveals they did at WonderCon, but they have been drip feeding some moody shots of upcoming pre-orders that's going to go live next week, like the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Alfred. I know we saw this before. I think it was during one of their live streams, but now that we get a close-up look, I seem to remember saying, oh, well, it's just reuse of Joker. But seeing that texture on the sleeves, it is unmistakably Joker, to the point where I can't unsee it now. It's just kind of, whoa, that is very specific. That's very Joker-esque. There's no getting away from that. I mean, I get it. I do. Budget and reuse and such, but it's just too noticeable. There's no getting around it. That's Joker's shirt. But then Western World Batman also goes up for pre-order next week, and all is right in the universe again. Is there other characters that could go with this? Like, it was a storyline? Old West Gotham? But if there's a Batman, there's got to be an outlaw Joker or something? Cowboy Batman. Woo! For next week's Gold Label Walmart exclusive drops, there is Batman Year One Part 4, Jim Gordon and Batman. Like Alfred, Gordon is a whole lot of reuse, but it's less noticeable because Constantine was just clothes, nothing specific. And yes, they did go and patch the hole in the knee, so they tweaked it a little bit. Again, I get it. Dudes in clothes aren't really front runners for brand new sculpts, but I feel like it works better with Jim than Alfred. Someone on Twitter pointed out that the tie isn't completely painted, and at first I went, oh, what is it? And then I realized it's just a little bit of black paint on the here and here. Shouldn't be too hard to fix, and I didn't notice it until it was pointed out at me. It's not like geometric shapes all over the arms. I'll let it go. I know. Okay, I'm harping. Let's move on. The Batman pick is badass though. So badass that I couldn't remember if we'd actually seen this figure. Then again, I remembered the live stream where they showed the figure. Nice, clean Batman. Glove sculpt, boot sculpt, dark gray, black. All right, another Batman for those who either collect Batmans or was waiting for this specific version of Batman. It's okay. Veering off the beaten path though, GameStop went and got themselves another Icy Treat exclusive. Here is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label GameStop exclusive 3 Jokers Red Hood Frostbite Edition. Like we've talked about with previous Frozen types, it's exclusive. You don't need it. If you don't want it, don't go to GameStop. Or go to GameStop and look at other things. Pick up what you want. But if you do want it, like for a diorama, Mr. Freeze's victory lap, something, then boom, here you go. Ooh, a Gotham get-together with tributes to all the major players. Or maybe an artist gallery where, hey, I did these ice sculptures. Whatever you want to do. If you have a diorama in mind, here you go. This effect is neat in figure form. It's translucent blue. It's got white dry brush over it. It looks like ice. But it's still movable. It's still posable. Do what you want. That's all I'm saying. Because we're gonna look at that exact same effect with the McFarlane Toys Game of Thrones Gold Label GameStop exclusive Night King Frostbite Edition. Yes, I was just as surprised as you to hear that McFarlane Toys still has the Game of Thrones license. Well, I mean, when I go to the McFarlane site to click through the DC stuff, there is the Game of Thrones square right there that I click past. Where's the DC stuff? So I knew they still had the license, but man, it's been a while since they released something. In fact, this sculpt goes back 6 years. And I guess that's one of the perks of picking a style and sticking with it, an articulation scheme, and not straying. You can re-release or add figures to that, and they just look like they all go together in a display. They can circle back around to variants without it looking out of place, and for the Night King, it makes sense. Ice. And when I say 6 years, I mean 6 years on the dot, almost like it was planned, because I went to the McFarlane site, looked up the original figure, it said April 2019. And here we are, April 2025. It's crazy how time flies. And it's just flying faster and faster. Speaking of time flying, it is the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. So Bandai's gonna celebrate by releasing their S.H. Figuarts Obi-Wan Kenobi Classic Edition. 20 years. Has it been that long? Doesn't feel like that long. Definitely doesn't feel long enough to call this classic. Next, y'all be labeling the Power of the Force 2 line as vintage. What? No. Anyway, we talked about the initial reveal pictures a few weeks back, and it is exactly what we expected. Same Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan figure, updated inkjet for the faces, that new lightsaber effect that they've been adding to all the Jedi lately with the and then soft goods robe. The same formula they've been applying to most of the Star Wars re-releases lately. Same figures, slight tweaks. And that's fine, that's dandy. I've picked up a few because they were upgrades, but Bandai, come here, let me talk to you for a minute. Do not let us down. You showed that tease of the S.H. Figuarts, Revenge of the Sith, General Grievous, and we're collectors. We remember things like that. You want to release it? We want you to release it. Let us give you money. Well, depending on the state of the world when they actually solicit it. I don't know. Price, everything, costs. But man, everybody needs a good Grievous. And I gotta think the S.H. Figuarts Grievous is gonna be a good Grievous. Please, something that is definitely happening is the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Celebration exclusive Visions Ronin and R5D56. Did I say that right? R5D56. Hot dang, I did. Now, you know I love Star Wars. It's my bread and butter. I may stray away from buying anything from a galaxy far, far away for a few months, but I always find my way back. And when it comes to Visions, I think I started watching it, but it just didn't catch my attention. If it doesn't catch my attention, I can stare at the TV and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, okay, this is cool. But 2 days later, nothing. In fact, when I saw this, I thought, I don't remember that. I think I remember the astromech because astromechs are cool. And I'm so happy that they're using the new mold here. But there's no emotional attachment. Hey, just because you love something doesn't mean you have to know every nook and cranny. Some of you don't understand that when it comes to fandom. Oh, you gotta know everything. You gotta love everything. And if you don't like something, then you don't like any of it. No, man. I just pick and choose. It makes it so much better. It makes me so much happier. What I'm saying is I'm not feeling any heartbreak for this being an exclusive to a show halfway around the world. But if you are, you know I don't follow leaks, but apparently there's some kind of regular version coming out with plastic robes instead of soft goods and colors where it's not grayscale. And yes, I went to Out of the Basement to confirm that. They are much more in the know than I am when it comes to future things, upcoming leaks, or figures that have made their way out of the factories, all that kind of stuff. So if you're wanting to get more in depth, go check them out. Am I pointing? Yeah. Hasbro, of course, brings us to Marvel Legends, where there's a new solicitation, there is a new sneak peek, and a couple of teases that I missed last week. Like I said, there was a lot going on, a lot of figures to talk about. So me missing just those two things, I feel like I did pretty good. First, Maximum Hulk went up for pre-order, confirming that $60 price tag. Well, okay, depending on where you decide to order from. Some online shops are adding because of possible tariffs, because they have to ship the goods in themselves in order to stay competitive with other shops. So here's this, and you get stuff early and come around, and this and that, and so many things happening at the same time. Otherwise, it's exactly what we discussed last week. Hulk, reused parts, rubber overlay to the upper torso. That doesn't mean that the upper body is just rubber, where the arms are gonna flop around and it attaches to the mid-torso. Some of y'all are just damn silly. Just stop. There's gonna be a core that holds the articulation and connection to the lower half. It's just the overlay that's rubbery. Tear-upable rocket, thunderclap effects, 3 sets of hands, 3 heads. I made my thoughts clear. This is too modern for me. I kind of like the experimentation with the butterfly joints coming forward, but I don't know if that's enough for me. Well, it wasn't enough for me to pre-order this, and that's fine. I want a more classic Hulk. There's gonna be more Hulks. Don't even doubt that. But if you like it, you find value in it, buy it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If it's not your thing, then pass on by, like I always say. And like I just said, there's gonna be more Hulks. Hell, there's a Mezco that's been teased for the past couple months that looks very classic. That's not gonna be as mobile as this, but it may be in the style you like. But then the price is gonna be... It's not rocket science. Look at your budget, look at your needs, decide what to do, move on. Reminder to future editor self, make sure to put a picture here of Hulk with the rocket, because I just said rocket science. That would be pretty hilarious. pretty funny. Jumping back to last week's Marvel Legends fan stream, I completely skipped over the sneaky peeky accessories from the end of the show. I had no clue what they were, so I had to rely on social media, especially when it came to this. I didn't play Marvel vs. Capcom. I didn't realize that this is the Juggernaut effect thing. Then for this, I had a sneaking suspicion that it may be Psylocke because of the color and the effect, but with no point of reference, I was just going, is it another Psylocke? Whatever. Oh, now that I know where Juggernaut comes from, I know where Psylocke comes from. Maybe. Potentially. But now knowing that, yay, another Bikini Betsy. That's just what we needed. No. I know that Psylocke in that look has always lacked in some way with previous versions. So, hey, getting that iconic Jim Lee team, or you're looking for Marvel vs. Capcom, whatever. Potentially. Maybe. And then hopefully if this is Juggernaut, it's a new sculpt, since it's been a while since we've gotten that character. And I just love Juggernaut. It'd be nice to get an update. But I just had the thought of, what if it's just re-releases in video game packaging? Potentially. Maybe. Because maybe the tooling budget all went to the tease that they posted as I was editing the last rewind. What have I told you guys about Friday? But I'll forgive you. It's the Fantastic Four. Say what you want about the MCU, and we all do, but I'm gonna wait and see this movie before I have any strong opinions about it. Because at the moment, I've just seen the characters in costume. Hey, give me more, I'll go from there. Call me optimistic or ignorant. Either way, I'll find a way to enjoy myself. This does give us a glimpse at the thing without the shirt that we've seen him in so far. So maybe he gets rowdy. Maybe he does some clobbering. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that is a single elbow, but it's a deep cut for the hinge, so I gotta think it does bend up. We also haven't seen Reed get stretchy, so that's nice to see in action figure form. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be featured in the movie. It's Mr. Fantastic, but the figure is gonna have some stretchiness to it. Hopefully, it's not just the arm, because we've had Mr. Fantastics with just some weird finger action going on. Let's get some stretch to it. Some body, limbs, phalanges, appendages, all of it. But then, oh my God, you can see flecks of blue through the white paint. Trash! And that's all I have for this week. I think, maybe. I don't know. If I miss something, we'll swing back around next week. That's what next week's are for, and swinging around. As always, special thanks to the Patreon, the no-bots, who have been very level-headed in the chat room there, talking about the tariffs and the prices and everything, because it's such an up-and-down subject. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after? We just want to buy toys. But at the same time, if I get priced out, then I'll continue my trend of cutting back, which I have done. At the first of last year, I was like, well, I don't need to buy this, this, or this. I'm just going to get this, this. And I have been okay at skipping toys here and there. But if I got to skip more because of budget, then I guess that's what I'll do. That's a terrible segue to announcing that I did open channel memberships last week. YouTube commanded it. They were pushing. So I thought, click over. If you wanna, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. It's essentially like the Patreon. The videos go up a day early. I'll post some teaser pictures. If not, again, I'm still here Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, sometimes in between, depending on schedule. Next week, I already have the video shot for the Jada Toys Frosted Flakes Tony the Tiger, where, oh man, I got a little silly. You'll have to forgive me, but can't help myself. And then Thursday, I have it scheduled, but it has been bumped the past 3 weeks because of newer stuff coming in. But I've shot the video, edited, posted the YOLO Park Transformers AMK Pro Series Starscream, featuring the Hasbro Asia exclusive AMK Optimus Prime and Megatron. It's just one big jumbled video where I played with Transformers, put them together, see what's happening, having fun. Because that's what it's all about. I know things are looking grim, and every time we turn around, there's an increase somewhere, but I'm gonna keep looking at plastic, hopefully still buy some. Either I'll find some way to have fun. I hope you do the same. be back next week talking about action figures. Bye.